Hey folks, here OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the XLeader wireless Bluetooth speaker. This is more in the shape of a soundbar and it's quite portable, but what makes this unit unique is the fact that it also has an LCD display, which is capable of showing the time. You can also set an alarm, so it's a multifunction piece that can also be used to replace, let's say, a traditional alarm by the side of your bed. It comes in a number of different colors and sells on Amazon for under 25 bucks, which is quite affordable as well. So this is the black and red version that we have here. This is what the packaging looks like, and on the back there's some basic info about the specifications. There is a built-in FM radio as well, supports a micro SD card and also USB, so if you have music loaded up directly onto a flash storage, you can plug it in and use this as an MP3 player, which is pretty cool. Supports line-in using 3.5mm jacks if you have a smartphone that you don't want to use wireless Bluetooth to connect to. There's also a working range of around 25 meters, which is quite long and also extended compared to the usual 10 meters or 33 feet we find with most Bluetooth speakers. So this is a nice improvement in this sense. It also includes a microphone, so you can use it to answer calls. The LCD display again allows you to more easily navigate through the various functions and shows you the battery status as well. So taking a look at what's included, there is a quick start guide that documents the various functions, tells you about the warranty and the company. Here is the speaker. Take a quick look at the design in a moment. Over here in this box, we have access to the accessories. It includes a micro USB cable for charging. Takes roughly 4 hours to completely charge the speaker, and afterwards you can use it for, I would say, 10 hours continuously before you need to recharge it again. So that's a pretty good performance rating there. There's also a aforementioned gold-plated 3.5mm auxiliary cable for plugging in an audio source, such as an iPod, which might lack, let's say, Bluetooth, and you want to use it as a wired speaker. Otherwise, the first thing I thought when I took this out of the box already was that the XLeader Bluetooth speaker is actually smaller than I originally suspected just by looking at the box and also images online. As a soundbar-esque stretched design, I thought it would be a lot longer and also a lot larger, but overall it's quite portable. So if you have something like here's a cutout, in fact, for the iPhone 6, you can see that the size here really isn't too much of a stretch from, let's say, a 7 or an 8-inch tablet in terms of the overall height. So that's something to quickly note. It doesn't take up too much space. Otherwise, the front features access to a very shiny and reflective LCD display. Down below, there's access to the company's logo. The two stereo speakers are nicely distanced, so it gets a 3D effect if you're listening to thrillers or more, let's say, electronic or rock music. The bottom also features two rubber feet, which prevents the speaker from sliding around on a surface or a desk. And the back features access to the aforementioned ports, inclusive the micro SD card, USB port, micro USB for charging, power on off, and also a line-in for the 3.5mm jack. The very top features access to the keys and buttons, which are slightly slanted. It makes them a bit easier to tap on and to press. They correspond again to the answer reject call key. There's also the microphone in the center for speakerphone calls. Works with both iOS and Android. You can also adjust the volume, turn on the FM radio mode, and connect it to a Bluetooth source. Connection is pretty simple. You simply tap on this, and then there's going to be a tiny LED light which will flash red and blue to tell you that the pairing mode has started. Overall, it has a pretty interesting kind of slanted look and design to it. It tilts the speaker upwards at an angle and makes the overall music performance a bit better than your standard, I would say, Bluetooth speaker because of this extra tilt to it. It makes the music face you as opposed to, let's say, in the back or in some other direction, which is nice to see. But otherwise, the presentation here and the design here is quite clean. Soft touch rubber means that it doesn't attract too many fingerprints, which is nice to see. So next we're going to turn the unit on and show you guys how to set things up, pair with a phone. We'll do a quick audio clip for the sample audio quality and show you guys some of the other functions. The speaker is now currently on. We have it set at a FM radio mode, and you can hear that the sound quality is actually quite impressive. It does a good job of definitely playing back local radio stations. You can automatically tune back and forth to find the strongest channels, and then save them as presets as well, which all works rather well. To change your volume up and down, currently we are at a pretty low volume, about 3 or 4. You can just tap on the plus or minus keys, which also dub as a skip track keys, and hold them down for a few seconds. It allows you to control the volume.
News from NPR and its correspondence once this broadcast times out and we go to fresh air. But for now,
so you can see that works fairly well, and the LED display on the front there is also fairly bright. You can still see it under direct sunlight, which is nice to see. I will say that when you first turn the unit on, it automatically takes you to the Bluetooth mode for using it as a traditional speaker. But if you don't want to do that, you can always tap on the Bluetooth key one more time. That takes you back to the normal clock mode, so that displays a clock in a 24-hour format. Otherwise, it also works again pretty nicely as an alarm, although the snooze snooze key, since it's not functioned or designed exclusively as a alarm clock, is a little bit on the small side because it's about the same size as all the other controls. So if you're waking up in the morning, even though the alarm sounds are quite loud, it might be a bit of a challenge to tap on this key at the first try, which can get a little bit annoying, but all in all it does work, and it does a nice job as an alarm and bedside kind of clock. So otherwise, we're going to take a quick look at the audio quality next by pairing this using the Bluetooth mode. So tap on Bluetooth one more time, and now we are at the Bluetooth setting. We're going to try connecting this with a phone next and see if we can find the speaker. There we go. It seems like it is this one, the SDY 019, and we are now connected. So we're going to try play back a music sample now. Again, this will work with iOS or Android. As far as answering calls, there is a built-in mic. It does a good job for speakerphone calls, despite not being a noise-canceling microphone. So if you are talking in a noisier environment, it might struggle a bit more. But it works well enough for the office or in the home for conferences. So we're going to try a quick audio sample next. And we're going to try to turn the volume up a bit more. Again, because this is a stereo speaker, it has the advantage of offering this almost three-dimensional effect if you're enjoying your music. If you're sitting centered, it's a soundbar. Especially if you're watching a video or a thriller movie, let's say, that plays around with sound, you can really hear the differences and the nuances. As far as Bluetooth speakers go, this one has a good amount of bass. It packs a nice thump and a punch under lower frequencies. Otherwise, higher frequencies can get a little bit muddled. There's a slight amount of static in the background if you turn the volume all the way down or pause the music. But otherwise, it gets quite loud and it's rather impressive. Definitely does a good job of filling up smaller spaces and works well enough for in the house, maybe bring to a party, all those situations it does a good job with. Otherwise, again, if we pause the music really quickly for a few seconds, you can hear that it kind of fades out, but there's a slight amount of static if you listen really closely, which is pretty common with most Bluetooth speakers, and nothing really too crippling from a unit at this price point with all these features packed in. So at the end of the day, I would say that the XLeader Bluetooth speaker, it's a worthwhile option to consider if you're looking for a cheap option that also functions as an alarm clock, as a regular clock, and works as a nice FM radio. This one has a pretty attractive design. It's a bit smaller than I originally expected, just looking from the online videos and photos, so that is something to quickly take note of. So if I have a phone right here and I put it next to it, you can get a sense of the size. It's about, again, roughly the size of the phone here is about 5 inches, so this is what you're looking at, and also on top, as opposed to something really massive or long. Anyways, guys, you can find out more details about this Bluetooth speaker in our official written review, which has a few more details involving the performance and the testing that we oversaw in this process. But this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.